Yo, what is going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing all right. Another car live stream. These are my favorite ones because, I never have any time to do anything. I never have time to go live with y'all. And now I'm in the car waiting for one of my children, and I have time. So I could sit with y'all and chat with you and answer questions. Just hang out. So I hope you're all doing wonderful and amazing. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm doing this from a wonderful iPad, so see how that goes. Hello from Panama. What up, Panama? Hope I can answer your question. What's your question, Vladimir? Go ahead and start rolling with the questions. Let's go. I'm gonna drink some Starbucks. This video is not sponsored by Starbucks. This video or any of these videos will never be sponsored by Starbucks because whatever. We won't go there. Hi, everybody. What is up today? Can you buy me a pizza or is it a no-no? I mean, you could buy me a pizza, but I would only eat the cheese and the toppings off of it. None of the breading, dough, whatever. But you could buy me pizza. I had some pizza the other day. Actually, it was phenomenal. I literally just ate the toppings off of it. South Africa. What's up, Dean? How you doing from South Africa? Javier, you work as a technical specialist for a school. Gardens, you're from Ethiopia. Gosh, y'all from like the entire world. We're going like global. What's up? Isaiah, you just had your second interview for a help desk job thanks to this channel. Well, thanks to you. You did all the work. Like, you did the work to get yourself there. So, props to you. But I'm happy to have helped in any way, for sure. What's my favorite snack when working from home? Yogurt, for sure. Yogurt, hands down. I love eating some yogurt. Honestly. Before, like months ago, what would be my favorite snack? Anything. I would eat all of the things. What's up, Jason from Jersey? How you doing, brother? But hey, Isaiah, good luck on your second interview. I hope it goes well. Trust, how to lose weight while working from home. Like, don't eat anything ever and work out like nonstop. I don't know. I went about things completely different. I've talked about that many times. Organic Butterfly. What's up? Your nephew is an Army vet. He completed the Google IT certification. However, he hasn't had any luck obtaining any of the help desk jobs he's applied to. Yeah, okay, so unfortunately, the Google IT certification is just not good. I mean, it's a fine certification as far as like it's going to teach you some great skills and things, which is fine, but like no employers are really looking for that. Like that's the biggest issue with that certification is employers aren't seeing that as anything to accurately evaluate an employee. Say like, oh, they got this certification, that means that they're skilled and blah 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 blah. While the Google IT support certification could say like, yeah, you're definitely probably qualified for a help desk job, people just aren't looking for it, unfortunately. So I would recommend the CompTIA A+ for sure, hands down, because while it's generally a lot of the same material you'll find on the Google IT support certification, the CompTIA A+ is a industry-wide known certification, and not everybody, a lot of companies still want that certification. So yes, that's what's up. I'm sorry. Hope it helps. It's probably not what your cousin wants to hear, or whoever wants to hear, but it should help. Javier, you work as a technical specialist in a small school district. You only have 3 network specialists. It doesn't look like moving up is an opportunity. What would I recommend for someone like you to get you to move up? You passed. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's different. All right. So if you're looking to move up, but you don't have that availability in that organization, well, you're going to have to start applying for new organizations, clearly. But what I would do right now is try to take over some responsibilities or, step your foot into some different projects and things like that to start getting more experience in things and more things that you can put on your resume. So if you don't have that availability to move up per se in that organization, at least trying to start trying to take on more responsibility because you want to utilize that responsibility as experience for your resume for sure. So that's what I would do. especially if there's not like an opportunity to move up in your organization currently. JM, you passed the MTA Network Fundamentals, but you failed the CompTIA Network Plus twice. Screw the Network Plus. Sorry. Stupidest or not. I need to close my mouth and be nice. Don't worry about the Network Plus. You got your MTA Network Fundamentals. That's fine. Go focus on a different certification that's actually like cool and stuff. It's not that the Network Plus isn't cool. It's just, if you're going to get a networking certification, just go after the CCNA. Like, there's no point in going after anything else. Legitimately. If you're going after a certification, if you want to learn the stuff from the Network Plus, like, that's fine, I suppose. But the value, the most value that you're going to get is by going and obtaining the CCNA. That Network Plus ain't going to do a gosh darn thing for you. The MEW, any advice for someone with a misdemeanor on their record? You just graduated from university with a degree in information science and technology. A lot of companies aren't going to give a crap that you have a misdemeanor. Honestly, they really will not. Some of them might, depending on the organization, obviously. But most companies, they will not care. When I was 20 years old, I was arrested. I spent the night in jail. And every time, and I've worked for school districts. I've worked for multiple school districts in IT, and I've worked in a hospital in IT. And I tell you this because every single time I have to do a background check, this thing shows up from when I was 20 years old. And they're like, can you explain this? And like, I explain it, and it's not really that big of a deal. Quite honestly, like, I learned my lesson, blah, 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 it was nothing bad, just destruction of property, basically. How you could put it. So yeah, but whatever. Like, I always get asked about it, and it's never a big deal. It has not been a big deal at all. Ken Chen, that's a great question. How do you figure out troubleshooting issue that you don't know anything to start with? There's like a saying that goes around, like, troubleshooting. But if you don't know the issue, like, if you don't know, like, what the problem is, right? Like, but you have like a general idea of what's going on, your best friend is always going to be Google. Like, period, hands down, Google is always going to be your best friend. And sometimes, like, when you're troubleshooting, like, I see this happen with people who work in IT for a long time. And when they're going to troubleshoot something, they immediately start jumping at the most ridiculous reason that it could be, like the most complex issue, or a complex, like, reason why there is an issue, right? Like, they immediately just jump towards that instead of, like, going all the way back to, like, all the fundamentals that you learn and kind of starting at the basics to troubleshoot things. Now, a lot of times, like, yes, having all of these years of experience, you can troubleshoot things maybe sometimes easier because you recognize how things work, and you can, overstep some of the troubleshooting steps. But sometimes, like, you still have to go back to the roots, like, reboot the system, right? Like, you literally have to go through all these very basic fundamentals, and that's okay. But Google is always going to be your best friend. CompTIA Security Plus. So the CompTIA Security Plus, Jason, that is CompTIA's best certification. That should be the only certification that CompTIA offers. I guess the A Plus, maybe, but not really. Security Plus. That's the only certification worth a good gosh darn. What is the best certification to get in the cybersecurity incident response? I'm pretty sure there's probably like a SANS certification for that or something. What is it? There's, is it ISC squared that has one like that's similar to that? Hopefully somebody in the comments can pop you a response to that one, because I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember which one it is. I don't know if it's a certification or more so just like a course that covers it. My bad. Don Carlson, what's up? You just got laid off from your job as a T1 tech. I'm sorry to hear that. An MSP, iPad shaking, my bad. 2 years IT experience with 3 MTAs. Do you think you can shoot for sysadmin role? Yeah. I mean, what's the worst that you're going to hear? No. I mean, you might hear no, but I would still be shooting for it. Shoot for the stars, brother. Like, you have experience, and that is the most important thing. And you have some certifications, which is phenomenal. So go get it. You got this. garden? What about introduction to web development? HTML? What about it? Like, it's great information to have. It's not going to get you a job, though. That's in reference to this comment. I got to figure out how to secure this iPad in place. My bad, y'all. Tom Hagen. Boop. You're going to graduate uni in June. You're currently working a help desk job. Fantastic. But you have no idea what you want to go into when you graduate. How can you narrow down the decisions? Well, if you're working a help desk role, you're going to be thrown so many different like technologies and just technology issues that you're going to figure out very soon, like the things that you're most interested in. And when you figure that out, then you can start to kind of figure out your path. And this is like the reason why I just literally had this conversation with somebody today in an interview. We talked about how the help desk role is like the best way to get into IT because of the fact that you get so many different technologies and things thrown your way, that you get like this kind of like very like inch thick, mile long type of like information and knowledge by touching each of these different technologies like piece by piece by piece, right? And it's so helpful because, you know, you could have this mindset that you want to be a network engineer and you go through all of this training to become a network engineer, but you've never stepped foot in the field. So you don't really know what a network engineer does. Like you see other people in maybe videos, they talk about it, but no job is exactly the same, right? So whatever. Anyway, you have this idea that you want to be a network engineer. You go through all this training, you still haven't stepped foot in the field. And then the day comes where you finally step foot in the field and you get lucky enough that you land a network engineer role or network administrator type of role, some type of networking role, right? This happens. This is real life. It does happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. Anyway, you get this networking role and then you're like, you know, 3 months into this role and you're like, oh my gosh, I hate networking. This is the worst thing of my life. Like, I don't ever want to look at a switch again. Please don't show me the CLI ever again, right? Like, that could very well happen. But if you work a help desk role, you're not committing yourself to anything and you're gaining knowledge and you're gaining experience. And then you get to figure out what you want to do because you're actually getting hands-on with these different technologies. So that's hands down, like, as far as I'm concerned, the best way to get into IT. You can do it other ways. That's fine. It's just whatever. It's not going to be probably an easy of a transition and learning experience for you, for sure. John Phelps, if you want to be a sysadmin, what certs are mandatory? To work in IT, there are no like certifications that are mandatory unless a job requests it. So what I would tell you to do is if you're looking to work in person as a sysadmin, start looking at the roles in your area, like look at the job openings in your area and see what certifications they require, right? See what certifications that they're looking for. If you're looking for remote work, it's the same thing. Start looking at different sysadmin jobs and their descriptions and what they're asking for. You're going to find out real quick, like based on, you know, go through 20 to 30 different sysadmin job descriptions and see which certifications are being asked for the most. I would probably venture off and guess and say there are going to be some cloud certifications, like for certain. Probably cloud certifications, like VMware certs, maybe some Microsoft certs, doubtful, maybe, I don't know. Microsoft certs in the Azure world of things, you know. Yeah, I'm just thinking, sorry. Those would probably be ideal for sure. But again, like, check the jobs because they're going to give you a really good idea of what they're looking for. Casey, I literally just answered this question, so hopefully you got the answer there. JM, you'll be taking the CH cert next month. You're currently using official CH book and their labs. Do you have any other tips? Go sign up for TCM Security Practical Ethical Hacking course. That would be the best course to help you get prepared for the CEH. Quite honestly, like there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to learn from like EC Council, their official training for the CEH, because it's you know, it's different in a lot of ways to other things that we're talking about here. But yes, TCM Security Practical Ethical Hacking course, hands down. I would just go after the PMPT though, quite honestly. Screw the CEH. PMPT for life, yo. Go check that out. Go check out that certification. I can't talk ever. Storyteller Mace, what's up? Do I believe that certs with freelance experience are good enough to overcome the lack of degree and enterprise experience for security role? Also, you have your network plus, and you agree with me. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it could be like it's there is no set path to get into this field. There's no set path to get into any role. Like there's no saying like because you don't have X, Y, and Z, you're not qualified for something. Or even if you do have X, Y, and Z, you are qualified for something, right? Does that make sense? The most important thing in IT is always going to be experience, first of all. So the fact that you have any type of experience is going to be extremely beneficial for you. But when it comes down to like degrees, certifications, like, you know, some specific jobs will ask for those things. They will require those things, but not everything, not every job out there is going to require those things. And if you're comparing like one pen test role to another pen test role, like, you know, one of those roles might say like, we want the CEH, and the other one might say like, we want the PNPT. I'm not going to say the other one, even though they might want that one. It's, you know, it all varies. There's so many variables out there. I believe that the experience is always going to be the most helpful for you. And then I know somebody, before I even like scroll down to see these comments, how do I get experience, Zach? Nobody wants to give me experience. Nobody wants to hire me. Well, you give yourself experience by building home labs. And if you need help with that, please just get on the YouTubes right now. I have videos about home labs, and there are like probably hundreds of other creators out there that have videos on home labs, literally walking you through like setting up Active Directory, right? Like that's a huge thing that you could do, and it's so incredibly easy to do. Like you could literally have an Active Directory server spun up in less than an hour, and that's like a skill. That is a very fundamental skill and knowledge that everybody in IT needs to know. Like period. Like so, go out, build some labs, and document your process. I say this all the time, and like people who return to this and watch these are probably so sick of me like saying that, but it's true. Like that is a very easy way to give yourself experience, but you have to document your process so you can actually validate that like you've done these things. Anyway, sorry. Whew. Yeah, I can't even like keep up with this chat. I don't even know like where we're at. I don't even know how far I am from catching up. It seems like maybe a long time. Kevin Roberts, what's up, brother? Thanks for all your content. You are welcome. Happy to help you. CCNA scheduled 79 days from now. Well, good luck to you in 79 days, brother. Can't wait. Your main problem is so many great resources, hard for you to focus on one. Jumping back and forth from one to another and back. Yeah, that's going to be, I mean, especially nowadays, like there's so many different content creators out there, so many different platforms to choose from. How do you pick the best one? And like that's all up to you, right? I think, man, as far as like CCNA content goes, like IT Pro TV, I'm always going to go towards IT Pro TV for a lot of things that aren't security related. Even though their security content is good, obviously I work for a different company where we focus on security. But IT Pro TV has a lot of amazing content for all their Cisco content, their Microsoft content, their CompTIA content. All their stuff is really good. But yeah, like, and sometimes it's okay to be using multiple resources. All the time it's okay to be using multiple resources to learn, actually. Because even like IT Pro TV, like I'm not knocking them by saying this. It's just like nobody's perfect, right? So like there might be stuff that IT Pro TV misses, and you might find that on like a free video on YouTube, and you're like, well, why the heck did I just pay, $30 a month for IT Pro TV and they missed this like one thing? Well, like I said, nobody's perfect. Use multiple resources because they can be very helpful. James Morelli, you hit somebody with nunchucks while high and you still work in IT. I love you, James Morelli. I hope you're okay, skinny puppy. I miss you, brother. Vladimir, you have applied for IT intern for about 10 job postings of companies here in Canada from last week, but you have not received any calls or feedback from them. Is your resume or cover letter the problem? It very well could be. But if it's only been a week, they probably have hundreds of applications to go through. So follow up with them in another week and see where they're at. But it definitely could be your resume cover letter for sure. Shadow Co. So I was just read over your question, but I would go out on what is the name of that site now? I'm drawing a blank on it. Glassdoor.com. Look up the company on Glassdoor.com. That's for like everybody out there. If you are wondering, like what a certain or a specific company is like to work with, there's a website called Glassdoor.com. You can look up like almost every single business that's out there, and if somebody left a review, like you can see like what kind of reviews that they get. Great website to use for that and for finding out like salary information as well. Kevin Roberts, you're currently watching Neil Anderson Boot Camp, Jeremy's IT Lab, and reading official cert guide and CCNA. Well, you don't have to just stick to one. You can go through a bunch of them. Any certs or training for programming? I'm not sure. I'm sure there's programming related certifications now at this point, but I don't care about that stuff. Programming is great. And it's a great field to get into. It's just not for me. Like, no, I could not do it. Mm-mm. Dean, you take your core 2 in 2 weeks. Good luck. You're not sure which one to get next. You're not sure which certification to get next. If you're wondering what certification to get next, I wouldn't even suggest anything to you yet at this point until you really start diving deeper into IT. Then you can start figuring out like what certs are going to make sense for you. What do I think of the ITIL certs? I think ITIL certs are fantastic. It's a great company. They put out some great stuff. So for sure. Tyler, you just started as a network support help desk job. Training wraps up next week. What should you try to get out of this job for the next 9 months? Ask as many questions as you can. Take all of the notes that you possibly can, and try to get yourself involved in as many projects as you possibly can. Like, for sure. That's going to be my best bit of advice for you, for sure. Isaiah, will CCNA cover enough network fundamentals to eventually get you into cybersecurity? You're looking to get into blue or red teaming down the line. You're currently in class lead up taking the CCNA. I mean, it depends on what type of, like, you say blue teaming and red teaming, but there's a lot of different roles in blue teaming and red teaming. So I don't know what specifically you want to do. So I can't like concretely answer you whether CCNA is going to be, sure, it will be enough. It's a great networking certification. It will be very, very helpful for you. But as far as like fundamental based, like there might be some things missing. Again, because like CCNA is very focused obviously on Cisco equipment, right? Like, so there might be some things that you just miss overall fundamental based by not like at least going through like CompTIA Network Plus, like information. I can't talk. It's a long day. Hopefully that makes sense. What if Google don't have what you're looking for the troubleshooting issue? Google always has the answer. What do you mean? They always have it. Not really. Sometimes you have to go super far into Google to find the answer. And then there's like websites and resources like Stack Overflow and Reddit and what are like even like the Microsoft freaking support site is great for a lot of things. But if none of those has like, the answer for you, then you're gonna have to reach out to your coworkers. You're gonna have to reach out to the company. Like if you're troubleshooting a specific application or program or whatever, like reach out to that company. That's like all the time. I'm not gonna answer spam. So if you ask, like what are you doing? If you want to be a network engineer, start with Juniper. They'll hire anybody apparently. Interesting. Can I just block this user? Thank you. Perfect. I don't understand. Like, why are you spamming my chat, bro? Megs, is it possible to get a help desk job with an A+ and no experience? Yes, 100%. Rennie Pusher, what is the best way to remember IT info? You've been studying for the Security Plus for months, but depression has done a number on your memory. You have to take notes. Like that is like the biggest thing about IT is constantly taking notes because there's so much information to be learned. And you have to be able to take notes that you can refer back to. Like That is the only way. So when you're studying for something like the Security Plus, though, right? There's a lot of like free websites out there that exist for practice exams, or if you sign up for like IT Pro TV for their premium subscription, you get access to like a much larger like practice bank. And what I would suggest that you do is go through all of these different practice exams. And, it's going to tell you the things that you're failing on, right? Or that you're doing bad on, you're not getting right, whatever. Go back and start looking at those things. Go back and start taking notes on all of those things that you're not doing well on. That is going to be my best bit of advice, is taking notes on all those things that you're doing terrible on. Yeah, good way to not get your question answered for sure, and good way to get blocked, because, yeah, no thanks. Goth Hot Dog. Interesting name. Love it. Just got in chat now. Sorry for asking. You sure redundant is an understatement. But what course is best for help desk position? CompTIA A+ for now. I'm working on something that's going to be much better than the CompTIA A+. I truly, honestly, 100% feel that way. I think I think all the people who know about this know. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. Something fun's coming, but for now, CompTIA A+. What's the best way to study for the CompTIA A+? Professor Messer on YouTube. He's absolutely free. Free dollars. You cannot beat free dollars. Keep it techie. It's good to see you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Do I think the field will be too saturated at some point? No. Never. 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 That's like the best. And literally in the year 2001, people were telling me that IT was oversaturated. Don't work in this field. That's like 20 years ago. 20 years ago, people were saying that IT was oversaturated. And this was already after like the .com like bubble burst, right? Like IT was oversaturated 20 years ago. Nah, you're straight. IT runs on or everything runs on tech now, right? Like everything runs on IT. We need all of the IT support we could possibly get. You're rounding up your network program in 6 months. What job roles should you pursue as an entry level? I don't really know what your program covers, so I don't know what skills that you have. I don't know what certifications you have. Is this a boot camp? Is this college? What's this program all about? Rennie Pusher, are there any IT jobs that don't really have to have human interaction on a daily basis? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they exist, and I couldn't name anything off the top of my head. But ultimately, there's going to be some jobs where you deal with people a lot more frequently than others. But a lot of times you're going to find, no matter what, you have to deal with people to some extent. But there are there are jobs that you aren't going to deal with people as much, for sure. It's just finding those jobs. And I can't tell you a specific job role, because it's not going to be a specific job role. It's going to be a specific organization. That's where you're going to have a hard time finding that type of atmosphere where you're not dealing with people often. It's going to be organizational based and not role based. Hopefully that makes sense. And yes, lab every day for sure. What is the best computer to use for IT for a college student? I mean, anything with 8 gigs of RAM or more. That's it. Oh my goodness. Gil Bates, that's funny. Look at here. Event Horizon's going through KevTech's Intro to Help Desk Labs right now on YouTube. So that's definitely a great resource for sure. KevTech is phenomenal. The Kid, what type of money range would you expect for an entry-level IT position? You have an associate's degree in CIS, but no work experience. Thanks. Depends on where you live. That's literally the only answer I can give you, because an entry-level IT role is going to pay completely different state to state, quite honestly. Obviously that changes a little bit with the way things are with COVID and all of that, but still, it's going to be very a help desk role in Nebraska is going to pay completely different than a help desk role in Chicago, remote or not. You're going to see that. So yeah, I don't know. I would say any type of entry level role, usually look at between like 16 and like $24 an hour. Gil Bates, what question would an MSP who is cold calling on you might get you to reply to their calls and emails? Might get you to. What question might get if any MSP is cold? Like, I don't know. Cold call, like all that. I'm sorry if that's what you do for a living. Nothing will get me to answer you, ever. Pretty much ever. You know what? You know, honestly though, and I tell this to people all the time too. Like the people who message me, I get so many messages every single day from people who want to ask me questions and talk to me directly, which I understand and I get. And I feel bad that I can't answer everybody, but it's always the same thing, like over and over and over and over again. And it reminds me of cold calling because it's like the same thing over and over again. It's like, hey, Zach, love your YouTube channel. Love what you do. I watch all your videos. They're great. I have this specific question here that you've never answered before, even though I've answered it 17,000 times. Like that's like the very standard like message that I get all of the time. If you send me a completely random message, like just completely like off the wall, like that's relevant, right? Like asking me a specific question about maybe something that like I like, or telling me a story about something that you did, or whatever, right? Like that's how you get me to interact with you. I don't want to hear, hi Zach, I love your stuff, blah 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 blah. Like I get it. I don't mean to be like an a-hole about it, but like if you're trying to get information from me, start a conversation with me as a person, right? Like I'm a real regular person just like you, and so are all the people that you're going to cold call and contact. Start a real conversation with them. That's it. Like a real human conversation. Even though you want to sell me something, like just start a conversation with me and lead me into it. That'll be the best way. What is the meaning of life? I have no freaking clue. Just do what makes you happy. That's my meaning of life. Furix, you're in a help desk coordinator role and you're being pushed into project manager role with more pay, but you don't want to be in management. Would it make sense you jump ship for a technical role with the same pay? Sure. If that's what's, like if you don't want to be doing that, don't do it. Find something that's going to make you happy. That's all right. Can I make more videos about no programming jobs? Like what? What do you want me to talk about? With no programming jobs? Like you don't have to be a programmer to work in IT type of thing, because you don't. Although you don't have to be a programmer to work in IT, but you definitely want to learn like some scripting languages, Python, PowerShell. Like you definitely want to learn those things for sure. Oh, I got a super chat. I got to find the super chat. I got to scroll down through all of this. I'm sorry. I got 2 super chats. Thank you, Rapid Styles, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Christian Luna, here's something refreshing. Throughout your career, my videos have genuinely helped you. You went from $14 an hour as a gaming PC tech to $77K a year in 3 years. Principles, certs, experience, and personality. That is freaking phenomenal. Thank you for the super chat. Congratulations to you, because that is phenomenal to hear. Like that's crazy. From $14 an hour to $77,000 a year. Like that is freaking great. I'm so happy for you. Like for real. Like that is awesome. Oh, that's so crazy. Now I lost my place in the chat. I'm sorry. Tom Hagen. You can ask another question. You're graduating this year. Should you apply for a grad scheme or keep your current help desk role? I mean, what do you mean apply for a grad? What? What's that? I'm not familiar with that, quite honestly. I mean, if you're okay in your current help desk role, like I would stay there while you gain experience. I don't know. Yeah. Let me know what the other thing you're talking about. You have to learn ITIL for a new job. Never heard of it. Tips. IT Pro TV, I'm pretty sure, has ITIL content. I would go check that out. But yeah, ITIL is fine. They're great. Good company. You're asking me what my career plans on? Do I have any aspirations? Who motivated me the most to become professional and push through? Man, do you really want me to answer that? My career plans, I'm like living the dream right now. Like if I had to be 100% honest with you, I'm living the dream. And I'm doing pretty much all of the things that I could ever dream to do in so many ways. Like I love doing marketing stuff. I love being in tech. I love doing, like I love everything that I do. Like I cannot describe it any better. I can't even put into words all of it. Right. Like I recently, like 3 weeks ago, got to go on a physical pen test, like physical penetration test. I broke into a building. Like that was the most legit stuff I've ever done in my entire life. Like I'm literally living the dream. So what are my career plans? To continue to live this dream. That's it. My aspirations, continue to live this dream because it is phenomenal. And who motivated me the most to become professional? Throughout the years, I've had so many people, so many great inspirational people who have challenged me, who just inspired me in so many ways. So I can't even tell you one specific person. There's been a lot who have influenced me, for sure. Doc Holliday, did you lose weight? Weight? Or wait? Wait? This weight? Or this weight? Yes, I lost weight, sir. Thank you for noticing. I hope you're doing all right, Doc Holliday. ITL CCNA is about 330. You only have a year in customer service experience. If you could get only one, which one would I choose? I would tell you to get the CCNA for sure. CCNA is like such a valuable certification just for the name alone. Just having that on your resume is going to be helpful. Like that's why it's so good. Just for that alone at this point. It doesn't even matter the skills that you learn on the CCNA anymore. Just the fact that you have something that says Cisco in front of your name is going to be very beneficial for you. Sorry, truth hurts. Ooh, Christian, thank you for another super chat. I really appreciate that, brother. Seriously. Here's an actual question, and sorry if I've answered this before. What are my thoughts on starting an MSP? You're thinking about it. I mean, if you want to start an MSP, like, go for it, for sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's a lot of money to be made working for an ISP, working with an ISP, starting your own ISP. Like, there could be a lot of benefits in that, for sure. Who is this? Why do I not have any moderators here? I need some moderation. I can't do it all on my own, yo. I'm trying to go through all this chat, guys and ladies. I'm sorry. Is the CompTIA A+ exam 2 parts? Yes, it's the CompTIA Core 1 and Core 2. There are 2 parts to that exam for sure. You only have to pay the fee one time. You pay for each voucher, which equals out to like $400 or some craziness or whatever. You're taking the A+ test soon. Any tips? Watch all of Professor Messer's stuff. That's like the best tips I can give you, honestly. Take as many practice exams as you can find out on the internets. Clobeats, hey family, what's the best IT path for entry? Remote work in IT, security, networking, cloud? None of those. Seriously, none of those are best for an entry-level remote work. Quite honestly, 100%. Like, I actually don't hate to burst anybody's bubble because this is just, I always enjoy being as truthful, honest, and authentic as I possibly can. None of those are good entry-level roles, period. Sorry. Any free reference study material on YouTube for cybersecurity? There is a ton. The first person I would tell you to go check out is the Cyber Mentor, for sure. Check out the Cyber Mentor on YouTube. He has tons of great videos on cybersecurity. So youtube.com/the Cyber Mentor. Go check him out. Tomboy, you look fit and healthy. I feel fit and healthy. I feel amazing. Like, I really do. I feel like $1 million. I wish I was worth $1 million right now because I would feel like it even more so. In the game. Can you get an entry-level IT job without any certifications? Yes, you can. 100%. You know what? When you're applying for an entry-level role and you don't have certifications, the most important thing that you can have is customer service experience, for sure, hands down. Keep it techie. What are my thoughts on Linux Plus? I think it's a fine certification. It's maybe one of the okayer ones from CompTIA, but I mean, it's a CompTIA certification, so it's fundamentals and it's CompTIA, and it's not the Security Plus. So, hope that helps. Rapid Styles, you're an IT networking academy and you're in 12th grade. You started in 11th. It's a 2-year program. Would that be enough to get a help desk or entry-level job? Yeah, it should be, for sure. Am I seeing more workload on techs right now? I'm not. I don't know what techs are up to right now. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'll find out. I didn't mean to click that one, but all right. John Gibson, you're trying to transition for desktop support entry-level Azure cloud role. You've completed an AZ900, AZ104 training. You're preparing for the exams. How do I find the first cloud roles? Man, the cloud is not an entry-level like starting point in IT. I don't know why anybody would think that it is. I don't know who told you that it would be, or that would be like a great. Oh wait, you're not starting. You're transitioning for desktop support. Oh, okay. Never mind. I got ahead of myself. I was getting upset with myself, or I was getting upset. My bad. Anyway, you're transitioning from desktop support, so you have experience. So just get your certifications, get your cloud certifications, and then start applying for all of the cloud jobs. There's another super chat. Sorry, I gotta go find it. Josh, I'm not going to try to Fafita. I don't know. I'm sorry. Thank you, Josh, for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. You're looking for an ITSM for your company, finding issues with getting real feedback on RMM systems. Your sysadmin is killing you. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you with that. I could imagine our sysadmin. Yeah, I feel you there. Good luck to you. How can I help you? Man, I'm sorry I can't keep up with all the chats. What's my opinion on the Mac OS support certification? I mean, I'm sure it's fine. If I wouldn't go out of your way to get it. The only reason I would get that certification is if a company is asking you for that certification. Otherwise, that's not going to do anything for you. Is a DevOps engineer better paid than a cloud engineer? It's really highly dependent on your experience, your credentials, where you live, and the company. So I can't answer that for you. Would ITIL Foundation help get a foot in the door with A+ and no experience, or would something else be better? No, I think that's solid, actually. Is there websites you can do it at 13 years old? Like, do what? Do IT at 13? Like, do what? You want to learn about computers? You're on YouTube. That's the best site for you to learn everything. I mean, honestly. Going through chat still. Sorry, y'all. What's the average dress code for entry-level IT jobs? Like, that's just up in the air because it depends on the business, right? Like, I worked for a school district, and I could wear T-shirts and shorts and stuff to work, and they didn't care. When I worked in the hospital, I have tattoos and stuff. They didn't care, right? I know I'm going to probably get asked this question or somebody's going to bring it up. Visible tattoos, like, all over my body, right? Like, I always had them out. All I had to do was wear, like, a collared shirt and dress pants. So it's always going to vary, right? Like, go work for a startup and you could wear, T-shirt and flip-flops and they won't care, right? Like, I work remote. I work in my sweatpants all day, every day. Sweatpants. It's glorious. Thoughts on CISA certification? Yes, it's a great cert for sure. Miggy Spain, what's the best way to learn how to do a thing in the IT field hands-on? Not sure where to start studying for your CompTIA Plus, but you want hands-on. I can't talk. There's not really a lot that you can do for the CompTIA to get hands-on, unfortunately. Like, that's not how that certification is designed. Yeah. There are, I guess, some things that you could do on the core 2 part that would be helpful, but I would just suggest that you go check out Professor Messer on YouTube because it's free, and he'll guide you the best way to go through the CompTIA A+. That's my advice. I'm sticking to it. What's my zodiac sign? Gemini, probably. Yes, I think it's Gemini. I don't mess with that stuff, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Gemini though. What advice do you have for someone with computer info systems degree but hasn't worked in the IT field for 4 years? Apply for all of the things. Go apply for all the entry-level roles. Go get a new certification and jump back into the field. You got to apply, and apply. And maybe get a certification. Probably would be helpful. Graduate schemes are like jobs, but they know that you don't know shit, so sort of train you. Where are you located? Is this like a UK type of thing, or what? Which CP can't talk? Gosh darn it! Which computer do I like more, Mac or Windows for IT? I like them both, and I like Linux too. I like them all. They all do different things, and they all do different things very, very well. I don't know. You could live your whole life off of a Mac, or a Windows machine, or a Linux machine. Like, it doesn't really matter. Malibu, hey, you have your A+ certification and you're taking your Network Plus next week. Can you get a networking job with those 2 certs and no IT experience? Probably not. If you want to work in networking, go get your Cisco CCNA, because the Network Plus is going to be 100% useless towards you getting a networking job if you don't have your CCNA. Facts. Sorry. Is a BCom in information technology management worth it? I mean, if you want to work in management, sure. A lot of jobs are going to require, a lot of management jobs require degrees. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sean Haas, you see that CompTIA has the ITF Plus. Would it be worth studying for that, or just go straight to the A+? Go straight for the A+. What's my thoughts on information systems management degree? Yes, if you want to work management and IT, yes, having a degree, it can definitely be helpful for you, for sure. Doc Holliday, you give me heck, but I like you and want you to do well. You look like you've lost a bit. You can give me heck anytime you want, Doc Holliday. It's all good. And thank you. I appreciate that. I've lost a little bit of weight. Just a tad, a little bit. Since February of 2020, okay, here. If I can lose another like 6 pounds in the next few weeks, which could be doable, I would have lost on March 1st of 2022, I would have lost 100 pounds from March 1st of 2021 to March 1st of 2022. I'll be 100 pounds down if I could lose another 6 pounds. That would be legit. I'd be pretty excited about that if that could happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be disappointed because I've lost a little bit of weight. Yes. Carlos Lopez, is there any entry-level IT jobs where you don't have to be on the phones all day? You're very glad you were able to land an IT job, but being on the phones all day is really taxing on you. I mean, yes, there are other jobs that exist that aren't so much like help desk on the phone related, but you just have to, you have to find them. But yes, there's like technician types of jobs or like field tech type of jobs where you're like doing more hands-on things and not on the phones as much. Christian, yes, the same questions always get asked. Anytime I do like a live AMA, it never fails. I'll probably get like 3 to 5 of the exact same question, which that's fine. I'm here to help. Dave, thank you very much for the super chat, brother. I appreciate that. Purple, you're talking about, are there jobs for cybersecurity or IT at 13 years old? No, probably not. I mean, yeah, definitely not at 13. Just don't see it. I mean, you could probably volunteer places. You might be able to find something though, honestly. Like if you could show that you're eager and that you know what you're doing. Like by the time you're like 14 or 15, like you could probably maybe find something like at like a local like YMCA, school districts, some type of small business, nonprofit, churches, right? Like there's possibilities everywhere. I'm not going to butcher your name. I'm sorry. What is your advice for you? You have your bachelor's in CS from a foreign country 17 years ago and no experience. You would like to get in the IT field in 2022. Well, what would you like to do? That would be my first question. Dave, I seem to be against CompTIA now. What happened between me and CompTIA? You remember you ordered their shirt to take Security Plus, and did they sponsor? Yes, they did sponsor my Security Plus. It's not that I'm completely against CompTIA. I'm very much against some of the things that they've done, and it's made me very upset with them as a company. As a nonprofit company, I'm very, very upset with some of the decisions that they have made. So yes, very much not the biggest fan of CompTIA anymore, and I'll shoot it just like it is because I don't care. CompTIA A+, great certification to help you get started in IT. And a CompTIA Security Plus is hands down their best certification that they offer. And I will stand by that for as long as those two things exist. Like, as long as they don't screw up those two things, I will forever stand by my words in that. Otherwise, for a nonprofit company, they can go to hell. Period. The end. Sorry. They make me angry. I want to help people, right? Like, whole reason why I do this YouTube channel is because I want to help people. I genuinely, authentically want to help people and give them the best advice that I possibly can and see them be successful. I want people to be successful. And CompTIA, for a nonprofit company, does not give a crap about making anybody successful. They care about the profit, like, period. Like, you could see that in so many of the things that they've done in the last couple of years. And it makes me so freaking mad. So incredibly mad that they're nonprofit. Like, angry. But I will continue to say A+ and Security Plus because as far as the industry goes, like, those are industry known and wanted certifications. So good for you, CompTIA, for doing something halfway decent and not screwing people over somewhat. Whatever. Done. Anyway, Wishnuck, thanks for your honest opinion. Thoughts on the junior pen testing from INE? I think it's great. I think INE, they do get a little bit of like hate from a lot of people out there. But overall, even the people that like hate on them a little bit will tell you that there's a lot of things that they do good there. So yes, like, I think that's something good that they do there. You won't see me hating on them in any way. I think there's a lot of things good that they do there, for sure. So yeah, INE, go for it. We'll see. Google IT Cert, Master Python, A+, CCNA. Is that order okay with you? I mean, you could take out the Google IT Cert, and that would be fine. Teehee, you're starting your bachelor's in IT on the 8th of next month. What should you study to get a good basis? I mean, like, shouldn't like the bachelor's have you all prepared for that? I don't know what your program is going to cover, so it's really hard for me to like tell you like what to do. Tomboy, do I think successful IT YouTubers lose their relevance in the process? I follow you because you have a real job and feel that sad that people quit their jobs to create content for the sake of it. I mean, I quit my full-time job working in IT to do YouTube in 2018. I was a full-time YouTuber from 2018 until 2020, basically. 2021-ish. Yeah. It depends on like the YouTuber though, right? Like, it depends on the person. You know, I quit my job working in IT to do YouTube full-time, but like, I went out of my way to teach myself. Like, I went on my way to get the Security Plus that was in 2019. So when I was a full-time YouTuber, like, I went out of my way. You know, CompTIA, yes, they did sponsor me. I know somebody's going to say that, like, they paid for me to get my Security Plus, but that was something that I genuinely wanted to do. And I went with them and told them, hey, I really want to get the Security Plus, and I think we can make a great series out of this. So you guys should sponsor it. And they did. But ultimately, like, that was something that I wanted to achieve for me. So I think there's a lot of YouTubers that get stagnant. And I know Heath Adams, My boss, right? Like the cyber mentor, he talks about that all the time. Like he hates in a lot of ways the things that he has to do for his job now, and like, you know, like the just the day to day and all the things that need to be done, because he doesn't have the time to be learning new things all of the time. And like that hurts him. Like that hurts him in an emotional way, right? Because he thinks like he's losing things. He's losing knowledge. So that's like something that he struggles with, but like he finds a way to do it for sure. Just like I find a way to do it. But yes, I would say some YouTubers probably fall off and don't do that. I don't know. Anyway. You're right there with you. You're 21 years old now and you weigh 238 pounds. You were 250 back in December. Man, good luck. That's fun, right? So much fun. Sorry for coughing. There's so many comments. Like I can't keep up with y'all. I keep turning my cup the wrong way. What is CompTIA? Okay, so CompTIA was if you know who Louis Rossmann is, right, and the right to repair, CompTIA was lobbying for the right to repair. I don't know why. That was one thing that really made me upset, for sure. Like they were literally, as a company, lobbying for the right to repair. I don't know why. And then the other thing they did was that when they announced like the Affirm stuff, where you can basically pay for your certification, you know, you have to get like approved for credit to pay for certification, which for a CompTIA certification, you have no guarantee that you're going to pass the certification. You're basically like you're paying, you know, $400 plus interest for certification. Like I did an entire video where I talked about that. I don't want to go into like all the detail of that. It just really made me upset because it's not helping anybody. Like it's literally helping nobody. And their certifications, like honestly, they're ridiculously expensive. You're a nonprofit organization and your certifications are so ridiculously expensive and you have no free retakes. Screw you, nonprofit, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway. You're looking awesome, Zach. Thank you. You currently have your A+, and it's getting dark in here, sorry. And IT associates, and you've been applying for so many places, but no luck. You're coming onto this 14 years of customer service, but no IT experience advice. Are you getting interviews? If you're not getting interviews, your resume sucks. Like, that's just truth. I'm being very blunt with you. So if you're not getting interviews, that's the first thing you need to look into, for sure. Otherwise, like, man, it could be cutthroat. So, like, the more that you have on your resume to kind of solidify your experience, the better off you're going to be. So, you know, doing home labs and making sure that you can document and show that process on your resume. Getting more certifications, right? Like, that's just what's up. Like, it's unfortunate in so many ways, but man, it's hard. You're stuck in an entry-level role. How do you get out and move up? Well, you start taking on more responsibility. You start asking all of your coworkers for more things to do so you can get more experience to put on your resume. Get more certifications. That's going to be very helpful for you. Start applying for all of the things. Net Plus or CCNA? CCNA, always, hands down. If you spam my chat, I will not answer you, and you will get blocked. Because I ain't got time for that. Keep it techie. Yeah, CompTIA pissed you off when they started financing their certs. Yes, that is literally like the worst. Like, oh gosh, that makes me so freaking angry. So angry. Nonprofit organization. Ooh, sorry. It really bothers me, like super bad. That's why I will never, like, if CompTIA said, Zach, we will pay you $100,000 to like sponsor your video, I would tell them no. I would tell them no. Because they don't stand for what I stand for anymore. They do not stand for it. And I can't do that. Alonzo, what's up? You work in law enforcement and you're thinking of changing your career to IT. You're 42. What's the estimation of time frame to get certifications to make $70,000 and up? I mean, you're gonna have to definitely start gearing yourself up to some more like intermediate to advanced certifications for sure. So whether that's like security or cloud, whatever, networking even, that could be helpful for you. But it's really, man, it's going to depend on your area. It's going to be depend on what jobs you're applying for, like what areas those jobs are in. It's hard to break. I mean, quite honestly, it's hard to break like $50,000, $60,000 in any type of entry level role, in IT. Like it's really difficult. So like, if you want to start out making a lot of money, like you have to show that you're worth a lot of money. And there's not really good ways to do that other than getting certifications. But the best thing that you could do is start networking. So get on LinkedIn and start networking with people. Networking. Like you have to. Like, man, I've talked about this so many times. If you go back through my recent videos within the last couple months, I talked about LinkedIn. Go check that out. Deluxe 27, IT career questions. How many end users would you say is suitable per one help desk staff member? Your service desk team has 2 support analysts, and you as a lead, you support 450 users. I would say that's fine. Like that seems reasonable to me. 3 people to support 450 people. I mean, 1 more probably would be ideal, right? But that's like the thing. Like every single IT department is understaffed, always. I'm trying to think. Like for IT support, we had 4 people. We had 4 like technicians. Well, I guess 5 with help desk, 5, 6 maybe with help desk that supported around like 1,600 users. So yeah. There's that. So you got your bachelor's in IT and you got accepted for a master's in cybersecurity. Also been working at help desk for 4 months. What should you do next? Continue with your master's and continue working help desk, because all of that experience you're going to get on help desk is going to be so extremely beneficial for you when you get your master's, for sure. Like 100%. Kyle Miller, so you're on the job working, getting experience, but can't decide if going for a college degree is worth it at this point, or you should be going for certs at this point. Definitely, if you're already working in IT, unless you want to work in management, there's no point in getting a degree. I guess caveat to that would be unless there's like a specific job that you want to work that requires a degree. Like if you want to go work for like whatever XYZ organization and they require a degree, well, like there's no getting around that. Otherwise, like if you already work in IT, you don't need a degree unless you want to work in management. I missed a super chat. I'm sorry. Thank you, Luke S. Thoughts on ServiceNow certified developer roles? I mean, ServiceNow is like a pretty freaking big company. And what they're doing, it's getting much larger for sure. But like, what are you looking to do exactly? Like, why you're asking this question for why? Like, are you wondering if that's going to be beneficial for you? Like other places that like have no affiliation at all with ServiceNow? I don't know. It's hard to say. Peanut Putter, love it. How would I respond if an interviewer asked you, what are your weaknesses? I would be honest with them and tell them my weaknesses, but I would tell them this is what I do to overcome these weaknesses or work on these weaknesses. It's okay to be honest with these things. Obviously, like, don't tell them like you're a lazy piece of crap and that's your weakness, right? But like you could say like, you know, a weakness is I'm not as organized as I would like to be, but this is what I do to help keep myself organized. I use Trello and I document like these things to like organize them. And I like set reminders in my calendar to keep myself organized and things like that. Right. Like that's it. Kimberly can fix it. You love that I'm being transparent about CompTIA. So you actually put yourself in that situation in finance one and did not pass. Lesson learned, just be patient, waiting for workforce to approve. Yes. Exactly. Like that. That breaks my heart. Like that honestly, truly breaks my heart that you financed a certification and you did not pass it. Yes. Like that right there is everything wrong with it. Like that's just so frustrating. Did I go to college? No. I've been working in IT since the year like 2002, 2001. No college for me ever. Sorry. Which one can you make more money from, cybersecurity or IT? What if I told you IT because cybersecurity is part of IT? Yes? Yes. I don't know what you mean by IT, and I don't know what you mean by cybersecurity because each of those encompass so many different things, right? Like cybersecurity has like I don't know, hundreds of different job titles, and that's the same for IT. IT career question. LinkedIn is great for networking, but in general, it's so toxic. So many elitist show offs, and yeah. But that's every single social media platform. Every single social platform is complete garbage. You just have to ignore the garbage and network, network, network. I love this question. I'm so glad that you asked it. Does it lower your future job opportunities if you got some bad grades in math subjects? No. Nobody gives a crap what your grades are. Like, seriously. As soon as you get a degree, nobody cares what your grades are. Period. Brandon, can I talk about when I worked in health IT? How does that differ from IT and non-health related position? I mean, like every single organization is going to differ in some way from another, right? Like, and the same could be said for hospitals, right? Like, one hospital could operate completely different from another one, and they could utilize all of the same tools, all of the same applications, yet their policies, procedures are going to be completely different from one another. And that can be said all throughout IT, right? I worked in multiple school districts, and like teachers are the worst. I thought teachers were the worst people to help because like it's like a running joke that like you can't teach a teacher. They're very difficult, but I was shocked at how much more difficult I think nurses were. I don't know why I went down that tirade. I'm like randomly thinking about a specific person. Sorry. Got me down memory lane there. Anyway, the one thing about working in healthcare IT that differs from many other areas, but yet, okay, I'm like thinking so hard into this because there's so many things. But the biggest thing about healthcare IT is that ultimately, what you're doing as an IT professional working in healthcare, you and your job ultimately could affect the care of somebody's life. And you have to think about that because it's true. Like, it's literally true. I've had to go into the operating room while somebody was literally cut open to help them with their computer, right? Like, you're never going to do that anywhere else, right? Unless you work in the military, right? In the Navy, Army, and all those, thing. Like, you're going to see that. Working in a hospital, though, yeah, like that was the one thing that I took from it, and that was the one thing that like made what I did at the hospital so important, was that ultimately the work that I was doing had the possibility of affecting somebody's life, and I wanted to make sure that I constantly did the best of my ability and did everything that I could to make sure that a certain level was always maintained, because of the fact that I knew in the back of my head, like, ultimately, like, hey, if I don't update the server, right? If I don't make sure that, we patch this 0 day, like, a patient could come in and be on an operating table and, we could be screwed because whatever, I'm just like throwing out like random things here about this. But yeah, the difference is that people's lives are essentially in your hand, even though they're not. But yeah, I'll never forget the time I actually had to go in the operating room. That was nuts. Anyway, oh, sorry. Sorry, reading through questions here. I have to leave in a couple minutes here. What was my role when I worked in the hospital? My last role working in the hospital was basically mobile device administrator. So I handled all of our mobile devices, and then I did our security awareness training. I was basically like, I don't even know how to put it, but like all day long was either in like figuring out things for like next security trainings, or setting up phishing attempts, or configuring mobile devices and securing them. Ooh, I love this. How do I feel about more hands-on entry-level positions that aren't help desk field technicians, etc.? Just started out as a field tech working with printers and some networking. I love those types of jobs too. Like, I feel like any type of entry-level position, help desk or field tech, like those are great positions to have because there's so much to be learned for them. Any good resources to learn Linux? YouTube for sure. And then IT Pro TV if you want a paid platform, for sure. Kyle Miller, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thanks for all the vids. Help you get in the field with AWS with all your tips. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Congratulations to you and good luck to you for sure. That's awesome. Good luck, man. So crazy. One of your clients, or you're doing medical treatment for patients' retinas. Oh God. There are definitely so many sweet people that need this technology to work in order to help them, for sure. Yeah, like that, and that's honestly one of the things I miss about working in healthcare is that, like, you know, the things that I was doing had like a bigger impact. You know, and that's like I enjoy what I do now because like what I do now affects people's lives, and I want to help people. I want to change their lives, and working in healthcare, like. Yeah, there's very much a lot of feels that go into that, you know. Game Accountant, hello, you are so helpful. Well, thank you. Are there any Discord groups or Facebook groups I can recommend to network and share IT experiences? Yes. The KevTech IT Support YouTube channel, I would look that up. KevTech IT Support. He has a Discord channel, phenomenal. I would definitely go check that out. I deleted my Discord server because whatever. Anyway, KevTech IT Support. Go check out his Discord server, and then the Cyber Mentor Discord server as well. Those are probably the two best that I can think of off the top of my head. 411 blah 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 411. Sorry. You're absolutely correct about working in health IT. Any connection to the health side impacts patients. Your attitude is the best attitude to have about it. Yeah, I mean that is the only attitude to have about it. At the end of the day, like I remember the very first time the very first day of orientation, and like the human resource or like the VP of legal or whatever, she came and talked to us, and she was like, she literally picked out each and every one of us and said, like, you have a purpose working in this hospital, and whatever you're doing here has the effect of making a positive impact on a patient's life, whether you're a custodian and you're responsible for cleaning, which is very important, or you're working in maintenance and you're responsible for making sure the heat is running all the time, or you're working in IT and you're making sure whatever IT crap is working all the time. Like when she said that, like that hit me. I was like, oh crap, like you're right, like I can see that. And then it was probably like 4 months into the job working in the hospital that I went into the operating room with a patient there. And like I said, I will never forget that. And it was so funny because the nurses, they called, and I was the one that had to go down, and I had to scrub up. Like I had to wash my hands, put on the hairnet, put on like a face thing because I had a big old beard, put on the scrubs, put on the booties, for my feet, go into the operating room. And when I'm walking in there, she's like, for patient confidentiality, like, please don't look over at the patient, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, look, if I look over at that patient and see them cut open, you're going to have another patient to take care of. I will not be looking over at all. And if I do, like, please be prepared to pick me up. That was like not ideal for me at all, but we did it. Thank you, Tomboy, for the super sticker. That's awesome. KevTech is awesome. I love KevTech. He is a phenomenal guy. In synth, hello Zach. You recently got hired as a level 1 at MSP, and there are so many things that you feel like you got to know. Is there any way you could learn and keep up with tech? Take all of the notes all day, every day. Please take as many notes as you possibly can. You're never going to learn everything, and that's okay. Like, you have to understand that there's so many different things to learn in the world of IT. You will never in a million years be able to retain all of that. So take notes. It's okay. It is okay. Annie Chaco, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it very, very much. Would companies hire a high-functioning, autistic young individual, no experience yet, but attending college? Yes. There should be like no reason why they would not hire you. There are plenty of people, autistic people, who work in IT. That's not. You're going to have some, just like everything in life, you're going to have some people who are going to look at you differently, but otherwise, like, it's not like it's not going to be a big deal, right? Like, you shouldn't run into an issue, and if you do run into that issue, right, like that's like the biggest red flag ever, that like you dodged the bullet. So like, if you're not getting hired because of XYZ reason, like, you dodged a bullet. Like, friggin' hate that crap. I hate people who just judge on the stupidest stuff. I'm sorry that you feel that, like, worried about this, but I don't think you should be worried about it. Anyway, I have to leave because I have to go pick up one of my children now. I hope you all enjoyed today's live stream. I had a blast. It's been a while since I've done this. It's dark and you can barely see me also. But yeah, thank you all. I hope you're all doing wonderful and well. Keep learning, keep doing fun things, and have a great day, great night, great whatever. I don't know. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Follow me over on LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, please, for the love of everything, get on LinkedIn, because it will help you get jobs. I promise you. Like, that is a promise. Maybe not necessarily a promise. I don't know if I can make that promise, but it'll greatly help you. That is a promise. Anyway, hope y'all have a great night. Take it easy.